Who teaches dentists how to be more successful, decrease stress, and most of all, figure out how to make the number one KPI in their dental life work? And that number one KPI is to reduce the number of times they feel like crying inside a day. More important than EBITDA and bicep curls. We're going to have Dr. Alan Stern on. He is a plank expert soon. But Talking Nachos is dedicated to helping you feel less like this on the inside part of your body. That's where dentists have to keep their crying, because nobody wants to see a dentist cry in the operatory. But at Talking Nachos, we have your dentisting back, and we interview amazing key resources and sponsors that help you live your best dentisting life, help you do the three things we stand for at Dental Nachos: learn, laugh, and feel less alone. One of the things that I love, and even though we have a huge Facebook community, is face-to-face interaction. So we have an amazing event with Dr. Jason Smithson coming up in April of 2024. Just text Smithson to 215-543-6454. Text Smithson to 215-543-6454 to come and do the 3 F's in Philadelphia: food, fun, and friends. I'm ready for my first guest. My team is ready to bring them to the Talking Nachos stage. It is the new grad. Rad is retired age dentist, my amazing friend, coach, sponsor, confidant, Dr. Alan Stern. Dr. Alan Stern, you are a celebrity inside of Dental Nachos, but just in case someone doesn't know you, or we do, I don't know if anyone knows this, we get like 800 to 1,000 new members in the group every month. So tell our audience what you do to help dentists cry less inside.
Well, I've been there. I've done that. Wherever you are, I've been there. The ups, the downs, the plain vanillas. I've been there. For 42 years, I was there. Made all the mistakes, did a lot of things right, straightened my life out really nicely, and cracked the code for success. So what I want to do is, like Paul said, make you feel not alone, make you laugh a little bit, make you put things into perspective, because you have a good career and you can make it even better. And there are a few things we can do for that. We can get into that in a little more detail as we move along. But I will help you vision your practice and shape your life so that you have that inalienable American right, the pursuit of happiness. That's what it's all about, Paul, isn't it?
I love that, Alan. You are an amazing, you're a Renaissance man, I have to say. You know, you like a lot of things. One of them is you love real coffee. I have to make a brewed coffee. I promise you I will do that. But you do a virtual cup of coffee. Before we get into the next thing, I want to thank you for helping so many Dental Nachos members at no cost to them. You are a sponsor of our group. People can text Stronger to 215-543-6454. But you are a lifeline to a lot of dentists with this virtual cup of coffee. I know there's no cost to it. I know you jump on Zoom with them, but and you've been getting a lot of great, and you deserve these accolades. Dentists aren't always good with compliments, but I'm going to compliment you. You've been getting people posting, Alan has helped me so much with this virtual cup of coffee. So before we get into your coaching, what is that virtual cup of coffee? What do you do with these dentists? What happens?
I want to listen. You know, in what I do as in dentistry, these are my most important instruments. So I will be glad to sit down with anybody from the Nacho community. 30 to 45 minutes, I will sit there over Zoom and I will listen to you, and I will help you reflect on an issue that might be on your mind and maybe open your eyes. Paul, we all have blind spots.
Yeah.
You didn't get to be you alone. I didn't get to be me alone. We have mentors, we have coaches, we have advisors. And that's the role I want to play for as many people as possible.
I absolutely love that. One, Dr. Christian Mullen, who's an amazing new dentist, he was at Boost Camp with us, Alan, who has a practice. You know, he was a high-level soccer player, and he said, you know, this is a basketball. You can't watch yourself play the game of soccer. You need a coach. And you cannot watch yourself play the game of dentisting basketball. And one of the things my coaches taught me early, Alan, is make a list for what you want to keep doing, start doing, and stop doing. Coaching is not all about what you're doing wrong. Sometimes it's doubling down on what you're doing right. But you don't know that unless someone comes from outside of your box. So you've created this better, richer, stronger community. What was your motivation for creating it? And what happens inside this community?
My motivation is very simple. That dentists, there is pain in dentistry. You know, that the crying inside thing that you talk about all the time. And you know what? If we take it more seriously, depression and, God forbid, suicide happen in our profession much more than, well, one is too many. One depressed dentist is too many.
Yeah.
So what happens inside our community is several things. Number one, in my group coaching community called On the Ride, we sit together for twice a month for an hour, and we discuss issues that's on the mind on our participants or of something that's on my mind that I want them to be aware of. So that is the most amazing thing when a group of dentists gets together in a safe space, in a moderated climate. We can talk about things in raw honesty. And you know what? The group comes up with more answers than I do. When we coach individually, my agenda is not to tell dentists what to do. They know what they want out of life. So my job is to reflect it back to them and show them the way to get their happiness.
I love that. I mean, I was just thinking as you're talking, this is one of my newer quotes. It's okay if living your dream makes you want to scream. And I'll explain. I'm a parent. I always want to be a parent. I actually tell my children I like it more than I ever thought. And I'm so lucky to be a parent. And we also have fights in the morning about putting on jackets. And we also have fights in the morning about why didn't you put this out the night before? And I wish to go back to my parents and apologize because I totally get why they would fly off the handle that my backpack wasn't ready. So with dentistry, Alan, it's okay. You know, one of the things that's problem is the outside world is saying to dentists, aren't you happy? You're a dentist. This was your dream. You're owning a practice. You're an associate. But what you talk with these dentists is there's another side to that. And living your dream can cause screams. Give us an example or even a story or anything that's to make people feel more okay out there. Because I would say it's okay not to feel okay. So if you're an associate dentist and you're a practice owner and the whole world's saying you're rich and you have a practice and you should be happy and you go home at night and say, I have the weight of the world inside of my head. Tell us a little more about that.
All right, first of all, don't shoot on anybody, Paul. You shouldn't shoot on people and don't shoot on yourself. That's number one, my good friend. Number two, your dream and your interpretation of dentistry is yours. You don't want to be me. You don't want to be Paul Goodman. You don't want to be Frank Spear. You want to be the best version of you. What is that? How can you make dentistry an expression of your greatness and a pursuer of your happiness? You don't have to be AACD accredited. You don't have to be a Pankey alumnus. You could work in an FQHC. You could work rural. You could work urban, PPO, fee-for-service, any of the alphabet soup you think of. But it has to be consistent with who you are. So when we connect with our core values, I connected with my core values relatively late in life. And I found my why in dentistry. That's the key. When I found my why, all of a sudden, everything else went away. I was happy practicing. And you know what? When that happened, the money flowed. Money is not the be all end all. Money is the reward for being the best version of you.
And I want to share, money doesn't solve morale issues. I mean, Gary Vee says he has people whose companies did $5 million. They were happy. They do $15 million. They're literally miserable every day. So I think it's really important to be like, well, I want to share our community. Alan, I want to thank you for being a sponsor, but even more important, thank you for being my friend and my kind annoyer and the jokester that you are. People can text Stronger to 215-543-6454 to learn more about your virtual coffees, your on the rides and coaching program. But if they just want to go to a website or a Facebook group, where could they go to now to find out about you?
Go to my Facebook group, Better, Richer, Stronger. That's the best. May I talk about my workshop?
Sure.
All right. So I've got 2 workshops coming up. They are, and it's kind of what we did together at Nachos, 5 decisions I wish I had never made.
I love that.
One decision that changed my life forever. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. I guarantee you a lot of jokes, and I guarantee you a lot of serious things. And it's at a no-brainer price, absolute no-brainer. And for people who do the $47 to join this workshop, we will also give you a 2-month membership on the ride.
That's a great
option to get some private coaching, an hour private coaching at a no-brainer price as well.
And I want to tell my community, you are worth a $47 investment into finding out how to cry less inside each day, how to live the best version of you. I love that. And you know what? The best version of your dental life could look wildly different than when you were a second-year dental student. Maybe you thought you'd own 4 practices, but you're thrilled owning 1. Maybe you thought that you were going to start a practice, but you're happy with your associate position. So reach out to Alan to live your best dentistry life. Truly appreciate you, Alan. You did it. We stayed in our time frame too. Go have a donut while you plank to reward yourself.
All right. We'll see you, Paul. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Alan.
much for believing in me.
Oh,
Thanks.
love what you're doing. Thanks.